The Pain Relief Hotline now for free
Morning,
information.
Facebook folks.
800-989-0851. 800-989-0851. Call now. 800-989-0851. That's 800-989-0851.
Did you know that 63% of homes contain allergens from cockroaches? And that mice spread potent asthma triggers found in 82% of homes? It's true. Common household pests are major offenders on the list of indoor allergens. Learn what you can do to help your family breathe easier. Visit
called Raid.
pestpro.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association and the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America.
The following program does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of the staff, management, or ownership of this station.
It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Tom Perry and
Morning,
Jason
Mr.
Bible.
Gollinger.
Get the answer
Hope
to
you
your
had a nice
question
birthday
that's keeping you from taking action and
celebration.
succeeding today.
Morning, Ginger.
Get ready. The guys that will put your fears behind you are on the
Morning,
air
Valley.
now. They're taking
All right, guys,
calls
stand
at
by.
713-785-1817.
Hot mics in 5, 4,
877-881-0271.
1.
Here's Tom and Jason.
Hey, welcome to the show, Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. Jason and I are live in the studio. And welcome back. You left, Friday of last week?
Thursday, I think. Is that when I left? I can't remember.
No, it was, you were in Dallas on Thursday, came back on Friday morning,
That's right.
and left Friday.
Friday, that's right.
Yeah, left Friday afternoon. Must have been a heck of a vacation. We can't remember what day you left on it.
I have no idea. I'm still on island time.
Yeah.
And we got in pretty late last night, and then we were up early this morning dropping folks off at the airport and all that. So, yeah, it was a long vacation.
Yeah.
It felt long.
You feel like you need to take a vacation from your vacation now?
Well, the sad thing is I am in 3 weeks. So
Yeah.
we're going to Florida. So
Right.
I'll be in Florida for like 8 or 9 days.
Yeah.
But
And you come back to we actually have a move, pretty close to a move date on our office.
mm-hmm. I was really hoping I would come back and there wouldn't be anything in this office. Be like, oh, they must be at the new office. This
Yeah,
is
right.
Perfect time to go on vacation.
It wasn't like we weren't trying to pull that off, that's for sure.
That would have been pretty sweet.
Yeah,
So
if only we could get a, it's interesting just when you have certain trades that, you call in the morning like, hey, I'm ready to buy from you now. Okay, ready to go. We got early yesterday morning. We finally got an answer from the owner of the building through the leasing guy that, hey, everything's been cleared. You're clear to move in. All right, fine. So we're ready to do that. Well, we can't move without internet, right? I mean, what business can survive without internet right now?
I think it's important. This internet thing might catch on.
Yeah, might be here to stay. So we call. We're not going to be using Comcast because they're so sketchy in terms of service, and we're going to be paying a higher price for a smaller amount of bandwidth, but it'll be more consistent in terms of provisioning and all that.
And by consistent, you really mean when it rains, we don't lose the radio show here in our office.
Yeah,
Okay. Just make sure I got that consistency right, because some
Yeah.
people are like, "What's a big deal?" I'm like, because when it rains,
Yeah.
you want to make sure your radio show
or that
works.
all of our internet works, right? Or like yesterday, we were trying to have a meeting, and all of us are around the conference room table, all on the wireless internet, and it just, and it goes down. So we got to, reset the Comcast wireless modem. So we're moving away from Comcast in the new facility. So bye-bye Comcast. And so, there's you've got field salespeople out in the field, selling allegedly. And, there's one rep assigned for our building. And, just getting a hold of her yesterday was like pulling teeth and just like, hey, we're just trying to place an order with you. And then
I'm trying to give you money.
Yeah. And then by the end of the afternoon, it was like, about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, they finally said, oh, well, all you really need to do is talk directly to the installation department, And I'm like, yeah, that would have been helpful at 9 o'clock this morning when we were trying to get a hold of you. If you'd have just texted us that. But now they're like, okay, we're going to try and expedite it. But, expedite orders have to be approved by management, and all the managers are out in the field at some big conference or something.
So this is a great analogy to how most people run their real estate business, where it's like, okay, well, since I can't get it for a price that makes sense, then I'm going to try and wholesale it. So I'm going to have my partners come in and look at your house. I just saw a post on in our private group
Yeah.
on Facebook about someone doing just that. It's like, look, just make the offer
Right.
for the price that you can buy the house for.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Let's
that
stop
simple.
playing the games.
Right.
Just, I want to buy your house. This is what I'm willing to pay.
Right.
Yes or no? Yes. Great. Here's a contract. When do you want to close?
Right. Now there's some salesmanship that goes involved in that.
No, I'm making it very simple.
Right.
But in there's some salesmanship. There's marketing and sales skills.
Right.
But that's how the business should operate.
Absolutely. In its simplistic form, it's, this is the number I can buy it at. And I know you're not going to love my number because I'm not going to ever blow you away with my number, right? You're not going to have a $200,000 house and I'm going to go, you know what? I can pay $1 million for your house. That's
No, I can't
never
do
going to
it.
happen.
No. Even if rail is going in.
Even if, especially if rail's going in. Right. So.
But how many people in this business try to, either on the education and coaching and consulting side or on trying to actually break into this business, try and make it way harder than it is. If I have to hear about a land trust ever again in my life, I might choke somebody to death with the paperwork. It's like, well, don't you guys do this? Well, what about this and this? And what about this and that? And I sit there and go, no. And then I love it. Part of the reason I'm so chill is I haven't gone to a networking event in probably 5 days. So then you're sitting there in a networking event, and someone says, Jason, you and Tom, I really consider doing this and this and this. And I sit there and I think, how many houses do you buy a year?
Right.
I'm telling you, this is the way to do it, and it makes your life so much easier.
Right.
Here's the number, contract the house.
Right.
Take it to closing.
Right.
It's just that simple, guys.
Yeah.
It is literally just that simple. Now, of course, now you're wondering, why do you guys spend 3 days on your weekend retreat talking about that? Because there's phase 2, right? There's phase 1, collect underpants.
Yeah.
Phase 2, they don't tell you that. And then phase 3 is profit.
It's systems and processes. And what you realize is that when you get really good at systems and processes, I tell you what happens is you get irritated when other companies' systems and processes don't work all that well. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Last week we had on a closing that we're selling a house. Mm-hmm. There is we had to sign a second extension due to this mortgage company not being able to pull their head out, basically. And so allegedly the owner of the mortgage company, it's really just a satellite office, right? This girl owns a satellite office. And in the process, she's... and I don't know if this is true or not, but she's had her mom has gotten sick, her daughter's had surgery, and now it's her grandparents are sick, and she in Chicago with sick grandparents, right? So everybody in the family is ill and are dying, right? And so she said, "Look, I've been doing this for 17 years, and I give you my word as a professional, it'll close by Wednesday of next week because I didn't want to sign an extension this past week on Friday. They're like, hey, you need to sign it. I'm like, nope, not doing it. I mean, y'all can get it closed today. And really, it was so trivial what it was that they were trying to do. And so basically, they were going back to some car that was bought like in 2011 that this person doesn't even own anymore. And so there was and then the place that she bought the car from is not in business anymore, so they can't get the letter. So all they had to really do is re-pull the credit, and it wouldn't have shown up. But they were waiting for this letter from Equifax basically saying that this derogatory piece of information has been removed from the credit, right? Well, Equifax sent it by snail mail. And they're like, we got to have this for the file in order to do it. I'm like, no, you really don't. I mean, you're waiting for a letter as documentation for a piece of derogatory information that no longer exists. Nope, got to have it for the file. So guess what? They guaranteed that it would be there by Thursday of last week. Well, as of Friday, they didn't have it. So they're asking for an extension by Wednesday. You know what they did yesterday?
What's that?
They still haven't received the letter. Oh. What they did is they re-pulled credit, and it doesn't show up. And lo and behold, I'm like, we could have done that a week ago.
Yeah.
And not missed it. Well, now we have to file an extension. They want us to file an extension because you can't do paperwork on the same day that you close.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah, so they did paperwork finally today. And I'm like, well, so I'm sending text to the owner of this mortgage company yesterday, and then finally she sends a letter.
By the way, it is not Legacy Mortgage. I can tell you that right now.
It is not Legacy Mortgage. Yeah, I didn't even tell you that.
This is why we tell everybody just use Legacy on your back-end financing because these mortgage companies, just some of them are horrible.
Yeah. So I basically sent a text over there and said, hey, are we closing tomorrow? Are we clear to close on Wednesday? I said, hey, tomorrow's Wednesday. You gave your word as an experienced professional. Are we closing tomorrow? How does it look? And she goes, well, the file's technically cleared for closing. Here's the email from underwriting to my processor. And I'm not concerned about technically. I want to know, are we closing tomorrow?
Yeah.
And he's, well, we're cleared. No, we are not closing tomorrow. We'll be able to close Thursday. And I said, I thought you gave your word as a professional with years of experience. How are we closing Thursday if we're out of contract, by the end of the day tomorrow?
2 minutes.
And then she says, well, it has nothing to do with my professionalism. It has everything to do with relying on everyone in the picture to do their part. And I'm like, yeah, it's about systems and processes, and yours are really broken. That's really what I never got into that. But basically saying, I'm wrapping up a trip visiting my sick grandparents in Chicago. My processor will have the docs ordered in the morning for a closing on Thursday. Hope we can still close the deal. And I said, and she said, we did the best that we could. And I said, what's your opinion? You did the best you could. I have a different opinion. I said, the piece of paper that we waited a week on was not even required. All she had to do was rerun the credit, basically outline
which is
where
what
they
ended
dropped
up
the ball.
doing.
Yeah.
Which is what they ended up doing anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And so she sends a text to Audra saying, I've blocked your seller. I don't normally talk to sellers, and I've blocked your seller because he's out of control. And I'm like, you haven't seen me out of control yet.
Out of control. You were out of control when you just had to order the credit last week. What's the big deal?
Yeah, exactly. So
1 minute.
Yeah, it's funny when you watch people not doing their job. And I want to talk about something else on the other side of the break. What I want to talk about is how there's some people that claim not to be gurus, yet they want to teach you how to do real estate education based on how they do it when they're not really doing it. And they take a piece of every single part of the pie, and they almost bash the people that are getting paid to teach how to do it successfully. So,
I haven't heard this. This sounds like you ran into somebody last week.
Ran into somebody. So you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. It's 713-785-1817. We're the people that tell the truth about real estate investing. The truth tellers. If you want to learn how to buy, fix, and flip, if you want to learn how to buy and hold, if you want to learn about wholesaling, you need to talk to us.
The
Right
truth.
Path Real Estate. The truth.
The truth.
Mic's off, guys.
All right. Yeah, I can't name names because I know we're still live on Facebook. And this is a prolific
Virtuoso Graphics
Facebooker.
is not your ordinary sign shop. We're your one-stop shop for all your signage and graphics needs. We're located in the Galleria area and have been in business for over 13
who is it?
years. We offer a wide variety
I can't
of
say-
signage
You want to
products,
send it to me on a
which
text?
includes
Yeah.
aluminum and
Because if I think I know who it is, I might just call him right out on the
Need
radio.
something printed?
Oh, yeah?
We can get that done too. From outdoor banners to business cards and anything in between. Take advantage of our laser engraving services. We can custom engrave on
This is
many
funny
products
that
available
we're
through our
sitting
catalogs
here
or
because
your
we're
own
on
personal
Facebook.
items.
That's right.
I'm
From
texting
large
you.
orders to small, we can accommodate your specific needs. We pride ourselves on customer service and work one-on-one with customers to make sure they get a good quality product. Come view our showroom to browse our many samples to get you inspired. Want your business to get noticed? Give us a call at 713-623-4425.
Oh, there probably would have
or
been typed
visit our
faster.
website
Oh.
at virtuoso.
I thought you said real estate investor, not guy who makes stuff up.
Do you
I
have
was actually
cracks in your
thinking of
brick,
somebody else.
floors that
Oh, are
stick,
you-
or sheetrock that's
Oh.
coming apart?
Yeah.
Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in
Yeah.
the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call
Bragging?
Foundation Check
I always
for a
thought
truly
bragging
independent,
about
unbiased
free
foundation
education,
evaluation.
like getting free
Foundation Check
education,
has been in business
is
since
kind of like
2009
bragging
and has
about
completed
dropping out
over
of elementary school
1,400
because I learned how to
evaluations.
read.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
not
yeah.
in the
I'm like,
business
it's
of
probably
repairing
stupid, and it
foundations
happens on bigger
or
pockets all
selling
the
you
time.
Yeah, right.
unnecessary
And I really don't
material.
understand
But we are in the business of
why people
evaluating
think that's
your
such like a
foundation.
badge of honor. Like,
Our
I
product
learned
is
how to do
designed
this
for
reading
house
books. I'm like,
flippers,
you'd probably be a lot
landlords,
further
or
along
even
if you worked with
owner-occupied
somebody who knew what
properties.
they were doing.
Yeah, right.
Each of our
Yeah.
files is reviewed by a
I don't even
licensed
follow that
engineer.
guy anymore because he's such
Remember
a
to
train
check
wreck.
before ever repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346.
What's interesting is-
3825, or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com.
Daniel, come on, you
That's
know.
foundationcheck.com.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S.? Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all of your deals. Well, you can. Quest IRA is based locally
Man, I'll
here
tell
in
you what,
Houston, Texas.
I don't know
At
if I'll be
Quest
able
IRA,
to
we
publish
offer
it,
retirement accounts
but my
that can
camera
be
was
used
rolling
to
when
invest in real
our
estate,
tour guide
promissory notes,
was
private
taking us
entities,
around
and
on
much more.
Saturday.
Many of our clients loan
and
money from their
her
IRAs
story was
to fund
amazing.
real estate deals all over the
She's
country. We don't
born
sell
and
any
grew up in
investments
Mexico
or
and
give
spent
advice.
20 years in
However,
Chicago.
we do hold free
And then her and
networking
some
events,
friends came
weekly
down
educational
to
classes,
Cancun.
and free consultations
And then
with
she
an
gets to the
IRA
airport and she
specialist.
just goes,
For more information,
"I'm not going back."
visit our
Yeah.
website at
I'm not going back.
questira.com
Chicago,
or call
So I'm
us
not going
at
back.
Yeah, right.
1-855
So she starts a
IRA
tour
to tap
guide
into the $24 trillion
through a couple of
in
years.
retirement
She goes from
accounts
like job
in
to
the
job.
US.
Then she starts a
Call
tour guide
Quest
company, a
IRA
business. It's only
at
5 years now.
1-855
She's got people that work for her now.
IRAs,
She's got
or go to our
she's got
website,
office staff now.
questira.com.
It was, and she actually took us on
Time
her
is
day
money
off
in a
because
real
Sarah
estate business.
knows
If your
a friend of
insurance
hers that
company is
does
slow
like
or
2 or 3 tours
non-responsive,
a
you
year
could
with
lose
her.
a deal
So,
like that. You need a
and
quick
that's what I
turnaround
thought
on
when
quotes,
Sarah told me how much she was
reminders.
charging. I was
The
like,
agency
but I
for
bet
that
she
is
only does
Benchmark
this a couple
Insurance
times a
Protect.
week.
The team
No,
at
she
Benchmark
may take
understands
one
the
day
investor
off a
mindset.
month, and her
They know
whole
what you
crew is
need and
booked
when you
out for
need it.
3 months
We're here
straight.
for you.
Wow.
And they make
Are you a rehabber,
real good
wholesaler,
No.
buy and hold, or flipper?
It's just private tours,
Bundling
like in a
properties on a
Honda
single policy
Odyssey.
will
Yeah,
help save
nice.
time and money.
So,
Benchmark has been in
but
business for over
just an
10
amazing
years,
story of
and we
like,
insure
I'm just
over
going to do it and
30,000
figure it
Yeah.
out. I'm
Yeah.
just going to do
Contact
it.
Benchmark about our
And she
exclusive
did it
investor
super
package.
successful.
Call us
Nice.
and let us show
Super
you
successful.
what we
Take
do for
action.
you.
I mean, lots of massive action. And you know what? She's not a businessman. You can tell she didn't go to college, right? But one of my favorite things she said is, she goes, you know, people know me online, like TripAdvisor's like blowing her up. She said, the problem is I want people to know my business and not me.
Yeah.
Like there were, in the 30, 45 minutes she was talking about this, there were so many business nuggets in there
This
Right.
is
that
Business 1110.
real estate investors don't even get, right?
All right, guys, you ready?
We're ready.
All right, hot mics. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. So before the break, we were talking about, you know, there's a lot of education out there. And I know you probably didn't listen to the show yesterday because you were on vacation. Mm-hmm. But, you know, yesterday I was talking about
Internet's a little spotty on Isla Mujeres, I'll tell you that.
there's a lot of education out there, and some of it's good and some of it's bad. And you asked the question at the weekend retreat of someone, hey, how do you distinguish good information from bad information?
It was a dinner discussion because this guy, like a lot of people tell him, hey, look, go to everybody's class, right?
Yeah, right.
So this guy I was chatting with, I said, how do you distinguish those who are legit educators and operators from those that aren't?
Yeah.
And he talked a whole lot and essentially didn't know, right? I mean,
Right.
how do you distinguish? Because at some point, your money and or your time is going to be you can go to a weekend retreat. Our weekend retreat's a couple $100, right? And somebody will say, oh, it's relatively inexpensive. No, it's 3 days.
Yeah, right.
It's not the $300 for the general admission
Right.
or $1,000 for VIP. It's 3 days.
Yeah, right.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's where you're really spending money. You're not spending money. You're spending it in time.
Right, absolutely.
So the problem is that we're in June. Tomorrow's June, right?
Right.
6 months through the year. We're halfway through. How many of y'all are even close to getting your goals?
We're actually a month away from being halfway, right?
Right,
We're
right.
5/12.
Correct.
We just finished
But
in 5/12.
For all intents and purposes, we're halfway through.
Correct.
How many of y'all are even close to your goals that you made in January? That's a scary thing. You can sign up for all these educators and they can string you along for years.
Well, how many people set goals in January?
Well, that's true. Yeah.
That's the problem is that, you know, if you don't aim for anything, you oftentimes hit it, right?
That's right.
I mean, if you didn't say at the beginning of the year, I want to do 10 houses for this year, then you have no way to measure if you're on track, you know, if you've done 5 or not.
Well, it's kind of like the weekend retreat. I've got that quote in there from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Where the cat asks Alice,
Yeah.
where do you want to go? Well, I don't know. Then it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, because the question she's asking is, hey, which road should I take? Because
That's
she comes to
Comes to the
this
fork of the road.
intersection,
Yep.
and there's like 3 different roads, and there's a cat that's basically helping people make decisions.
The Cheshire
That
cat.
the Cheshire cat is saying, you know, and she says, hey, which of these different roads? There's 3 different roads. You know, which road should I take? And he goes, well, where are you trying to get to? And she goes, I don't really know. Then it doesn't matter which road you
Doesn't matter
take.
which road it does it.
Yeah, because you're gonna.
Jason, I just want to retire in 5 years. Okay, what does that mean?
Yeah, what kind
You've
of
been
retirement do you
working.
want?
I talked about this on my Facebook Live this morning. You've been working for 40 years.
Yeah,
And we've all of a sudden got to figure out how to retire you in 5.
yeah,
Meaning the things that we have to sit down and figure out, we have to make you 9 times more efficient
Yeah.
because the last 40 hasn't worked for you.
yeah.
That's what I think is fascinating. When some people, I want to retire doing real estate. Great. How big of an action taker are you? Well, I need to go to 50 seminars and read 90 books. And I'm like, you've been working for 40 years.
Yeah.
you're in your mid to late 50s. If you're going to get started in real estate as a retirement vehicle, you need to go all in and right now.
Right.
Because you are running out of time, right?
No doubt. Yeah.
It's the same. I mean, so many of these things in real estate, we, sit down with somebody and, I want to learn how to make $1 million a year. Great. What's the most you've ever made in a year? 75,000. Okay. We've got to figure out how to make 12 times that.
Yeah. Good luck with
That's not something that happens overnight. I think a lot of these real estate educators pitch this idea that all of a sudden you're going to be a multi-zillionaire overnight. And it's like, that's not how this works. Will it happen inside 5, 6, 7 years? Absolutely.
Well, there's
but
a guy on
takes a lot of
Facebook
work.
that's closing on a piece of property that today, allegedly, that he's his when I was watching this video he was doing yesterday, his title guy was on there, and he's allegedly going to have a $100,000 payday today. Well, it sounds like all you got to do is one of those a month, and you're making $1 million a year, and you can retire just doing that. But the reality is, we do a lot of deals, and we've done over 400 transactions, and we've made more than $100,000 on a few of the deals, a handful of them. But even when you look at what's falls straight, because we're honest about our business numbers, that when you take out sales commission and business, and there's operational cost for doing the business, and sometimes it's more frequent that we get $100,000 at closing, but that doesn't mean there's $100,000 of profit in that deal.
No.
I mean, in fact, we had a deal not too long ago that because we went over budget on the rehab numbers. Then I think we were like $25,000 over budget on rehab numbers because we discovered some things that that we didn't see on the front end, and we also made some decisions later on. Well, we paid for that out of our operating capital, so we had more money in the deal than what would show up on the HUD. So that's one of many different ways. People say, "Well, how do you hide on a HUD what you're really making?" What you make on the HUD is not necessarily what the deal made, because if I borrow money from a private money lender just to purchase the house, let's say I buy a house for $150,000, and I put $100,000, but I paid the $100,000 out of my own money for the rehab, and I go sell the house for, let's say, $300,000. Well, I've got $150,000 in the purchase and $100,000 in the rehab. I've got $250,000 in it. If I sell it for $300,000, I've got $30,000 coming out. I really only made about $20,000, but on the HUD, I'm getting my $100,000 that I put into the rehab back out. It looks like I made a whole ton of money when I didn't.
I'll tell you where the other big lie is in real estate right now in single family. That is cash flow from rental properties.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of people, how they teach cash flow from rental properties is all of your expenses. So and their expenses are hard costs.
Yeah.
In other words,
taxes, insurance,
HOA, mortgage if you've got that.
Right.
And that's my quote, cash flow. And they treat that as profit.
Yeah.
And now it's an accounting sleight of hand that a lot of people don't catch. That's not profit.
Until you start doing it. Once you start
doing
once
you start doing it, that's when you realize.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple of things that aren't in there. One is, who's doing the property management?
Right.
The second thing is, where are your capital expenditures? In other words, that roof is deteriorating every day. That HVAC is deteriorating. All those things
20-year life, right?
All those things are deteriorating every day. Where are those calculated in your monthly cash flow? And they're not.
Right.
I'll just tell you that right now. And my third favorite thing is the cost of your time.
Yeah.
Because there's always this, single family real estate, even if I put
it's passive.
It's passive. You guys just need to put a better tenant in there. I'm like, no, that's not how this works. I mean, I always find that now, if you got 20 rental properties, is it a 100-hour-a-week job? No. Is it 10 hours a week? No. Probably 10, 15 hours a month. But I'll tell you what, those phone calls come at the absolute most inconvenient time.
Yeah, they're when you're in line at security, getting ready to go out of town on vacation.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or if it's a line in
why
customs
is it the air
trying to get back.
conditioner always goes out at like 6 o'clock on a Friday instead of at like 10 a.m. on a Monday?
That's
when you
right.
can get an air conditioning company out there pretty easily. Right.
That's absolutely right. So that's one of the other when you start doing this business, I shared this with our Facebook audience last week. When you start doing this business at a high volume like we do, you get to see a lot of transactions. You see a lot of stuff that you wouldn't normally see. And the longer I do this, the more I realize there are very specific ways to be successful in this business. And there's a whole lot of wrong ways to do it. And what's fascinating to me is most people who teach real estate education don't have enough volume, and then they assume that the way they did this 1 or 2 deals, like these handful
they
of deals,
did 8
they
deals
can
in a
scale.
year.
Yeah,
and they think that all you got to do is repeat that 10 times to get to 80 deals a year.
And that's not true.
It's not at all true.
Yeah.
It's like the way that you build one car. In fact, you could not mass produce the GT, 40, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they I think they're built 250 cars this year or something like that. I guarantee you the way that they built those 250 cars is not the same way that they build the Ford Taurus.
Yeah, or the Mustang.
Right.
You just pump them out, right?
It's not the same process.
You want to see a great video.
In fact, it's not even the same business model.
No.
Yeah.
Go watch a video on McLaren's factory, or go watch even like the Nissan GTR. It's like 3 guys that are certified to build a motor and 3 guys that build a transmission, and they do it in a clean room.
Yeah.
Y'all know what a clean room is?
Yeah.
That's where they build high-end semiconductors. I mean, that's how...
That's where they do pharmaceuticals, right?
Yeah, pharmaceutical. It's a sterile environment.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't build Honda Civics in a clean room.
It'd be challenging.
But
it'd be a semi-clean room.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, of all those real fancy cars, you know where their money's really made? The Honda Civics, the Accords. It's the stuff that people. There are certain people in our market that make fun of our business because our rehabs all look the same.
Yeah, right. Because they make every rehab look different. In fact, you probably know there was one of those guys that was teaching a class this past weekend, and watching some of the stuff that he was saying, because the scary part is he said they were asking him a question on this training class. Hey, well, how do you run your comps? And they said, well, I look at the dollars per square foot of the land first. How many square feet on the land? Because, the bigger the lot, that's more important to me. And then he said, if the comps are, 500, then I'm going to actually, comp it at 575 or 600 because I'm going to set the new benchmark for comp in the area, because I'm going to create such an over the top rehab that they're going to pay so much more for it. And I'm like,
whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, there's so many problems with that from a math standpoint, and just in terms of getting it to appraise and,
we'll have Michelle Emler. She'll be in studio with me on Friday. We can talk just about this issue. And I can guarantee that's not going to work.
It can work like maybe 6 or 8 times a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can do that 6 or 8 times a year, but you cannot do that 60 times a year. You will get your tail handed to you if you try and scale that up to 50, 60, 70 deals a year.
I'll tell you what's painful, and it's a quote I have on my Facebook page, and that is, it's easier to lie to people than convince them they've been lied to.
Oh gosh, yes.
And inevitably they'll come to one of our classes and they'll say, no, you don't understand, I went to so-and-so's class and they told me X, Y, and Z. And I'll sit there and say, we've done 400 houses. I can tell you that's not going to work. And what are they going to do?
Yeah.
They'll go out and do that. And then they'll come back to one of our events, tail between their legs, and say, you were right, it didn't work. And I'm like, why didn't you listen to us? It's 400 houses. They've done 12 in 2 years. I mean, it's like, you don't. Scale is everything.
It is.
Right? Because it's when you start scaling and when you start getting bigger and when you start doing more volume, you realize that there's a lot of this stuff that doesn't work. Maybe a better way to put it is your level of error gets in manufacturing. It's the tolerances, right? Get tighter and tighter.
Right.
Meaning we have a much smaller window to thread.
Right.
Because we've got so many projects on the ground. We got so many. We don't even make offers. Our sales team makes offers, right?
Sure.
So some people ask me that, like, you guys don't make the offers? No, the sales staff is trained to do that. So it's when you start doing those things, you have to get better and better and better at every step of our process.
Hey, you listen to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Give us a call.
Mike's off.
If you have cracks in your walls, ceilings, or floors, you may have a foundation leveling problem.
Come on, Daniel, you knew that answer, didn't you?
Open right? Maybe you have gaps in the bricks of your fireplace. You need Green Tree Foundation Leveling, a fast, high-quality foundation leveling company based here in Houston. They know how hot it gets on the Gulf Coast. High summer temperatures, heavy
And Colby,
rainfall,
thanks
and
for sending the
clay-rich
email
soils are
for
leading causes
forwarding
of
that to me.
foundation cracks. If you have a cracked slab or a shifting
Oddly, I'm
foundation,
not on that.
call Green Tree
I'm not on that
Foundation
list.
Leveling at 832-329-1687.
They're claiming victory.
How old is your house? Many older homes in our area require foundation repair simply because of our climate and soil conditions. Green Tree Foundation Leveling provides free estimates within 24 hours.
I haven't had a chance to read the entire
They repair
email yet,
concrete
but-
slab foundations and pier and beam homes too. The experts at Green Tree Foundation Leveling work fast and offer competitive rates, even a lifetime transferable warranty. Call 832-329-1687 to schedule an appointment with Green Tree Foundation Leveling.
You found or inherited a great investment. The problem is you don't know how
Daniel, I
much
didn't
it's worth,
see.
or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market.
Thanks,
Give
Jeff.
Next Gen
I
a
love the
call at
comment.
713
We are trying to be truth tellers,
9911,
man, because there
or
is so
check us
much
out online
BS
at
being sprayed out there.
nextgenappraisals.com.
Are you expecting to close accurately, on time, and with lots of communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right
Hey,
place.
Mark, welcome.
I'm Jennifer Hernandez.
Hey, this works even out
Senior
in
Loan
California.
Officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to give our borrowers and referral partners an
Good morning,
amazing
Nelson.
experience during the loan process. My team believes in putting people and culture before results.
Yeah,
Our
Jeff
company
Emerson
concentrates
said, the
on
boys are
building
fired
those
up
teams
today.
who operate
If there's
with
one thing I
structure,
love, it's
process,
truth and truth tellers.
recognition
The
for going
truth.
the extra
He goes,
mile
"Get
for
it?"
you. This way, we have the energy to make this your best home purchase ever. Give us a call today to find out the simple steps to get started.
Man, I'm here like
Jennifer
an
Hernandez,
hour and a half, and they already
the
got me
Hernandez
closing
team
stuff. All
at
right.
Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Jennifer.legacymutual.com or call 713-579-3611.
Jeff, it is, man. It really is.
Again,
It's so sad.
Jennifer.legacymutual.com. We can't
I tell you,
wait to consult with you
one of the
soon.
most frustrating
NMLS
conversations that I ever had. I'm probably.
514-497.
Do you remember the conversation we had with the two brothers that were real estate agents?
Oh yeah, we're real estate agents. You guys know what you're talking about. That was when we used to save people from themselves. Just don't do
There were
that.
two
anymore.
brothers that, and they're very, very, very successful real estate agents, and they bought this property over south of Braeswood, west of Post Oak, you know that area, and it's basically South Meyerland, but
at 346
you know, you could call it, you know, West Westbury, I guess.
Review docs and
And they overpaid for this house, and they were going to rehab it. It's flat roofs. You know, I think they paid $400,000 for the house. And they wanted to put $100,000 into rehabbing it, man. And Fast Track was going to do the rehab. And
business consultations.
and then after realizing they were going to lose money doing what they were going to do, they were going to lose about $20,000. And I told them that up front. Hey guys, you know the numbers aren't going to work for you. You're going to lose about $20,000. But good news, you'll survive that. This will be chalk it up to an education. They decided to tear the entire house down and build new construction. And Jason and I, we pulled them in the office and said, hey guys, we spent like an hour and a half trying to talk them out of doing that. And they scraped it down to the ground, and they built a 4,000 square foot new construction house, which was like $600,000 of new construction. So they're $1 million into it now. And no house had ever sold south of Braeswood
10 seconds.
for north of 700,000. I'm like, dude, y'all are gonna really mess up and lose 300,000, not 25,000. I don't know if you'll survive that. And that was 4 years ago, and they still own the house.
All right, guys, stand by. All right, hot mics in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. 713-785-1817. We're telling the truth today, even when it hurts. So, you know, you got to be careful when you're on Bigger Pockets. You got to be careful when you're on Facebook. You got to be careful when you're following different, I'll call gurus.
You know, it's funny. I was reading a post from Chris Johnson not too long ago, and he said,
"I love Chris. He's awesome."
He posted something asking for Facebook advice, and I posted immediately after. I said, "You know better by now," and he kind of laughed. He said, "Well, yeah, I kind of like to see what comes out of the ether, so to speak." So,
yeah.
If you guys hear paper in the background, I'm actually closing a property right now, a house up in somewhere at Montgomery.
While you're doing that, then you're closing on buying a house right now.
Yeah, I'm buying a house right now.
So we have a new vendor. So want to introduce a new company as a part of our vendor Select Cleaning Service, It says that they're a locally owned and operated, fully insured company specializing in residential and commercial property cleaning and maintenance services. With over 30 years experience in business management, quality assurance, and more than 15 years experience in multifamily maintenance, safety, and compliance, they pride themselves in being able to deliver professional service to their customers. Their post-move-out maintenance inspection process includes a detailed checklist and a photo library of all the areas inspected, ensuring proper chargeback to previous residents, as well as detailing the scope of work required to have your property move-in ready for your next residence. They also have a make-ready cleaning package. They offer free estimates, and all services are customizable to fit your specific needs. Select Cleaning Service maintains an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, as well as valuable local partnerships within the industry. They currently provide services to several local commercial businesses and are happy to provide references upon request. So if you want to give them a call, you can reach Christy at 832-427-6412 or go to www.selectcleaningservice.com. So welcome aboard Select Cleaning Service.
I'm almost done here.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, I wonder if they could make this any longer and all the documents that you have to sign.
This isn't the one I'm worried about. We're wife's buying a house and, retail.
Yeah.
So you can, with all the disclosure and everything else, it's going to be 10 times thicker than this.
Right.
Usually, so here's one of these little things this will give you some insight in what our world is like. We can fit in a regular standard FedEx envelope, we can fit 4 closings in one FedEx flat envelope.
Ask us how we know.
Yeah, exactly, because I've stuffed 4 in there before.
Right, because we've done 4 closings in one day.
That's right. So I'll tell you the funny thing is one day I was doing some closings, and one of our private lenders we have a really great relationship with, his attorney was out of town to do the docs. He said, hey, I got the guy that literally wrote the book on this stuff. I said, okay, that's fine. He sent me like a book, and I sent him an email. I said, hey, partner, you're going to have to find somebody else to do your docs, because I said I literally could only fit one other closing in the FedEx envelope, and usually I like to put at least 4 in there to send them off. So he got a chuckle out of that one. So, but in any case, real estate education is a fascinating business, and I think what really makes this different is we're actually teaching how to run this as a business, whether you want to do flips, rentals, wholesale, owner finance, those sorts of things. We do all of it.
Well, we teach that there's a system and a process for the marketing side of things, for the sales side of things, for the transaction side of things, for every single step of the transaction. There's a process for it. It's really so that you can have consistent, repeatable, duplicatable results.
So if I'm, one of the things I like to think of at least lately, because our radio show keeps getting bigger and bigger. Actually, there's a little side comment. In every 7 days, there's 100 hours of content that's consumed just off our Facebook page. To tell you how fast this thing is growing. One of the fascinating things that I find is when someone says, "Hey, in order to grow your wealth, whether you want to retire or you want to build a legacy for your family," they'll say you should only do this type of real estate investing. You should only do flips. You should only do buy and hold.
Yeah, but the market's constantly changing.
The market's constantly changing, and the market's bigger than that. I mean, why not flip a couple houses, buy a couple rentals, and then? But again, you really got to focus on what is your goal at the end of the day.
Yeah, because can you imagine? Like, I know a guy that in Houston became a billion. This was probably 20-something years ago. Became a billionaire in retail strip shopping centers.
Mm-hmm.
He would go down and buy some of the worst retail strip shopping centers that nobody wanted to own, and I remember he'd paint these. He'd paint the light poles and all the parking lot, car stops and all that kind of stuff. He'd paint them this very unique kind of orangish yellow color, and that was kind of his trademark. Every single property, you knew it was a J.J. Moore property if it was that. And man, he became a billionaire in that one segment. But that market has changed. I don't know that could be duplicated in today's market. Will it cycle down again and there'll be a buying opportunity like what he had? Absolutely. I mean, I think retail's struggling right now because of Amazon and some things that are happening online. And there may be a transition for what happens with those retail spaces. That there may be a future buying opportunity. You can buy that at such a discount because so few people want to own them. But is that...
If you really want to see the side story on that, read about that fund that went in and bought Sears, and essentially leveraged it to $500 million, $1 billion a store because they thought it was a long-term real estate play. And I'm like, they're anchors
Yeah,
in
right.
shopping centers. Like,
Right.
well, that's not a real estate play.
No, of
Anyway,
course
so
not. Yeah.
it's not our money. Who cares? But it's a great story to read nonetheless.
Of what not to do.
Of what not to do.
But
yeah.
they were doing it not with their own money. They were doing it with other people's
Oh, yeah,
money.
it's, not- it's never their money, right?
Right.
It's hedge fund. It's never their money.
Yeah. So they were making money off of fees. Just
I think the ultimate question to ask and we ought to have, we could sit down and write like the top 5 questions I'd ask anybody before.
what would be the number one question you'd ask?
First question I'd ask is, when was the last time you bought a property?
You mean personally?
Personally.
Not
my students,
right.
not,
Well, like in yours, in my case, we don't personally buy properties outside of the ones that that we live in, but we do them all within the company. So it'd be like, hey, when was the last time that Houston House Buyers bought a property? And it was about 30 seconds ago.
Yeah. It was actually, it's funny. I was going to say, when was it? I'm like, oh, it's right here. I just bought one.
Yeah.
And not only buy it, when was the last time you bought it, but bought it outside of your education company.
Yeah.
We see a lot of people like, oh, I partner with my students on, your marketing and sales
you found
effort.
the deal on your own, separate from your students, bird dogging for you, all of that you actually found. Yeah, so
it was a deal you got that you bought, and I'll tell you what, the people I follow, if you guys you probably see that on Facebook, the other real estate kind of gurus, those are the guys that do that. Now, they do it in specialty markets like non-performing notes and those sorts of things. I'm not following other single-family people, but that's the first question.
What you find is that even within Houston, I mean, when I start thinking about, okay, those folks don't, those folks don't, those folks definitely don't.
Actually, my first question, a follow-up question to that is, who pays for your marketing?
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean who pays for your marketing? Do your students pay for your marketing? It's a big co-op?
Yeah.
Or do you actually go out and do the marketing? Now, I love this is when someone says, well, Jason, I don't pay for marketing. Well, how do you market? Well, I work with wholesalers, MLS agents, and all that. I said, okay, you pay for it in your time. Oh, well, my time isn't really worth anything. And I'm like,
and it never will be.
And it never will be. That's
because you don't know how to value it.
Yeah.
Right. With that mindset's so broken that you will never value your time enough to be worth more than what you're worth.
Well, and that's why they can't do any deals when they go out of town, right?
Right. That's right.
So their business just stalls.
Right.
They're really not. You know what's fascinating is those people are not business owners. They're employees in their business.
Yeah, they're in the quadrant of self-employed.
That's right.
In the Kiyosaki grid.
Right.
Yeah.
We talk about this more in the weekend retreat, but most real estate investors, when I look at their business models like that, I know they don't make any more than about $200,000 a year. Which, don't get me wrong, sounds like a great salary. For a lot of people, I think the average or
that
the
is
median
great for a lot of folks.
The median income in America is like $50,000, $60,000 a year, somewhere around there. But if you're trying to help people reach their goals in retirement and building wealth, that's just not enough to get it done. So, in any case, that's probably the first question I'd ask. Hey, how do you source your deals? Do you find them? Do your students find them? Who pays for that marketing?
The trouble with that asking that question is that you have to rely on the person that's going to be answering that question to tell the truth.
Yeah, and which I would just go ahead and regard that as probably not going to tell the truth.
Yeah.
But, second question I'd ask is, hey, who's your transaction coordinator or title company?
Oh, yeah.
And I'd say, let me contact them.
Right.
We had someone share with us some information about a week or so ago. They were bragging, this individual who teaches real estate was bragging about all the deals they closed, and we just called up to their title company, hey, how many deals that guy closed? And they're like, oh, like one a month?
Yeah. And they were acting like it was like 5 a month. Right?
Yeah, one maybe. They were like, we got 2 right now, and we think they're gonna implode.
Yeah, neither one of them will close.
Neither one will close.
They open title more often than they close.
Yeah. Just get on the phone with their title company. Hey, you don't know such and such, and how many deals they got up there?
The other thing that you can do is like,
or the worst part, you call up to the title company, you ask about that person, they go, who?
Yeah, right. Or here's what you could do also is like, hey, what entity name do you buy your properties in?
Yeah.
And then, what you should be able to do is just be able to do a Harris County Clerks or do a county clerk's search for that entity name because they should be named as the grantee.
Yeah.
And like I did a Montgomery County search for a particular person that boasts that they buy a lot of properties, and you know how many have ever been in? I don't see a single one that a county. There's not a single property. Now I'm only assuming that there's only one entity name that I know of that they have, but what I know this person does. I have 1 minute. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, so this person actually, what they'll do is they'll wholesale the property to a student, quote, or an investor. They wholesale, make a big fee on the wholesale. Then they have a construction company. They do the construction. Then they advise you on how to do all these things, and then basically they want to partner with you on the deal. And the way the partnership works is that if the deal makes money, which it's unlikely it's going to, but if it makes, because he's already made his money, right?
Yeah.
If it makes money, then he's going to get a bigger, more than 50% share of the profits.
Okay.
But it's a 50-50 split if there's losses.
Oh.
And man, I've just seen some disaster deals from this guy. But from what's posted on Facebook, you'd never know that there are disaster deals out there.
Why not just buy the property?
Yeah,
and
right.
just sell it.
Yeah.
The more complicated these things get,
Right.
the less money you make.
Yeah, right.
We get back to the break. We'll talk more about single-family real estate. It's Jason Bible, Tom Perry, Right Path Real Estate.
Well, then
Mike's
the question also becomes, why
do all that?
Yeah, why do all that? And then why do you constantly need to find new investors to do it? You know why? Because none of your previous investors have made any money doing it that way. And so you've got to constantly find. That was one of the things with Fast Track that I always loved, is that if I helped investors make money on their deals, they buy more deals with me.
Fast Track Remodeling
But
specializes
the people
in
that
turnkey remodeling of
he's,
single-family
you know,
investment
helping,
properties, whether
you know,
it's a flip rehab or a
there's
rental
only one person
rehab,
making money
we
on
manage
these deals,
every
and it's
aspect
him.
of a rehab from start to
Why
finish
not just
with a highly efficient,
say, okay, we're going to bring this deal and let's partner in it? 50-50, boom, in and out to the next one. Why have all these little buckets?
Right.
Which has helped us to create our
you
three
spoon
keys
feed
to
up
success.
you
Use a
take
detailed
enough off
scope
the
of
top.
work
There's
so
not
that
anything left on the
everything gets done.
bottom.
Yeah, 'cause it's phase
Train
3.
and maintain
Yeah,
quality
that's right.
crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself. No more doing the
Yes,
work yourself.
James, it will.
Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
Morning, Whitney.
Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com. Selecting a foundation company and their product for repair is a lot like a game of chance. You simply don't know what you're going to get. The foundation repair industry as a whole doesn't carry a license, nor is it regulated. However, Foundation Check utilizes professional engineers to review all of our files to give you the best foundation analysis in today's market. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825, or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com.
Real estate investors, if you're not familiar with Quest IRA, let me tell you what you're missing. We've got free weekly educational classes, networking opportunities, and the ability to tap into trillions of dollars for your real estate investing deals. Come by our office or join us remotely as we simulcast all of our educational classes every Tuesday morning and evening. For more information, call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or visit our website at questira.com.
Oh, Daniel.
Investor loans
Always
offering
looking
up
for
to
the next
100%
mark.
financing are still available. You just have to know where to look. Look no further than Noble Mortgage. Noble Mortgage is a full-service mortgage company that's been helping investors since 2003. Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing to investors that covers purchase, repairs, and closing costs. In addition to private money, Noble Mortgage offers conventional loans, FHA, and even no-income documentation loans for both residential and commercial properties. Call and ask about our
No,
5-point
we're not doing
guarantee,
that.
which includes
doing what?
free
We need to have another
pre-qualifications
Right Path
within 2
meeting, get
business days.
everybody
Call
on the same-
713-680-8100
page here.
or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com. Our team has over 50 years experience in the mortgage industry. Call us today, 713-680-8100, or visit us on the web, noblemoney.com, noblemoney.com.
NMLS
this isn't tomorrow, it's
292143,
June 8th.
8203 Willow Place Drive, Houston, Texas, 77070.
You
Does it
found
say
or
tomorrow?
inherited a
Yes.
great investment property.
That's not
Problem
good.
is, you don't know how
Who's
much
that?
it's
1 minute.
worth, or more importantly,
Who's in
what
it?
to do to maximize
Valley?
your
Or-
investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we
We need
started
to have a
Next
meeting.
Gen
This
Appraisals.
is kind of going off
Next
the.
Gen is a group of appraisers
rails
specializing in
here.
investment real estate. We understand that investors
Okay,
aren't
that
just
looks
looking for a
good.
number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Investor Loan Source is Houston's premier investor loan company. Our products and approval process are unique in the Houston marketplace. First of all, we loan based on the asset alone. That means no credit minimums, no income requirements, and no reserve minimums. Second, we have short-term loans for fix and flips and several long-term options for rental properties. Since we're asset-based lenders, everyone is approved. Check out Investor Loan Source at ils.cash. That's ils.cash.
All right, guys, stand by.
This is Business 1110.
Hot mics in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. Got Tom Perry here as well. Look, real estate investing, just like real estate education, it's a business. It's sales and marketing. Are we going out there and making offers? Even if you want to buy a couple of rental properties. I hear this all the time from landlords. Jason, I just want to buy 3 or 4 rental properties this year. Great. You're going to have to do the same thing as if you were buying 30 or 40. It's a business. This is the amazing thing to me. The vast majority of people who listen to this radio show, I mean, we're on a business radio station. You're already successful in your endeavor outside of real estate, whatever your chosen profession is. And you've got to treat your real estate business like you treat the business that you work in now or the business that you own now. And that is, what's our goal here? What are we trying to accomplish this year, next year, and the year after? How many houses do I need to buy? How many houses do I need to flip? Wholesale, rent, all that stuff. What is it that we need to do to be able to reach those goals? And I will tell you this, probably the fourth thing I'd ask before I signed up for any real estate education, and that is, hey, when are you going to ask me what I want?
Yeah. Yeah, how many courses did we take? We took from Fortune Builders and from Ron LeGrand, from Lifestyles, from a lot of different folks, and a lot of them said, if you do this, then you're really smart. If you do these other things, you're really stupid, or, this is how you do a transaction, or these are how you do subject tos, or how you do, whatever the different strategy, which I just call like tools in the toolbox, right?
2 minutes.
But no one, not one person said, hey, where are you trying to get to a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now? Where are you trying to go?
What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
What are you trying to do here?
Right.
And I'm like, and that was one of the biggest stumbling blocks. When somebody said, hey, what makes you guys different than everybody else? I'll tell you one is, hey, what are you trying to do?
Yeah.
We've only had one person that ever came to me and said, I want to build what you guys did and buy 70 houses in my first year. And I said, okay, let me explain to you what that looked like.
Right.
And he and his wife's eyes, you could see the whites in their eyes, their pupils are fully dilated, and they said, you know what, we don't want that. I said, okay, come up with a different want, because this is what it looks like.
They don't want the work.
Yeah, I'm like, this is what the work looks like. They're like, holy cow,
right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I said, I wouldn't recommend it either.
Yeah.
But when was the last time you sat down with your real estate coach, consultant, whatever they call themselves, and they asked you, hey, husband, wife, hey, business partners, hey, you, what are you trying to do?
Yeah.
Where are we trying to go with this thing?
1 minute.
Because they can't help you if they don't know where you want to go. The last thing I'd ask is, how do you track performance? In other words, how do you know I'm on track? And it's not by buying houses. What are those interim steps that I have to complete that you track that say that I'm on track to meet my goal to buy this many houses, or I'm not on track, I'm off track?
30 seconds.
What is it that you use to measure that performance? And I can tell you right now, I think we're the only ones that really track that with regards to our students and clients. So hope you guys enjoyed the show. Next event for us is June 8th. If you'd like to sign up, go to rightpathrealestate.com.
10 seconds.
We'll see you guys there. We'll be in Dallas on the 15th. So if you want to see us in Dallas, you can see us there. Thanks for listening. It's been Jason Bible.
Thanks
and
for
Tom
watching.
Perry, Right Path Real Estate.
All right, guys, have a good day.
Thanks, Nikki. Have a great day.